Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and anything beyond. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a question many cockatiel owners and bird enthusiasts have. How old is my feathered pal? While they don't exactly sprout wrinkles or gray feathers like us humans do, there are a few clues we can look for to make an educated guess about a cockatiel's age. Now, it's crucial to understand right off the bat that once a cockatiel reaches adulthood, usually around 1 or 2 years, pinpointing their exact age becomes very tricky. A 2-year-old bird can look virtually identical to a 15-year-old one. However, by observing certain characteristics, especially in younger birds, we can get a general idea. Let's explore some of these clues. If you've recently welcomed a young cockatiel into your life, there are a few telltale signs of their youth. First is a baby face. Young cockatiels often have what's described as an immature or baby face. Their features might look a little softer, and their beaks can appear proportionally larger compared to their head because the feathers around the beak are still very short. Beak color. Juvenile cockatiels with adult dark bills often have lighter colored bills. Conversely, those with light-colored adult bills might have dark bands at the base of their beak when they are young. This usually fades as they mature. Iris color. In very young cockatiels, the iris, the color part of the eye, is typically dark. As they grow, you might start to see hints of a lighter iris developing, eventually becoming the clear, bright iris of an adult, usually by around 8 months old. Crest. A baby cockatiel's crest is often shorter and the feathers are straighter compared to the longer, slightly backward bending crest of a mature bird. Tail feathers. Until their first adult molt, which happens between 6 months to a year old, a young cockatiel's tail feathers are often usually equal to or slightly shorter than their body length. Adult tail feathers tend to become noticeably longer than their body. You might also see bearing or stripes of the upper side of the tail feathers in juveniles, especially in males, which they lose after the first molt. Wing feathers. Young cockatiels may have yellow stripes underneath their primary wing feathers. In males, these stripes usually disappear after their first molt, around 9 months, while females retain them. Activity levels. Younger cockatiels, especially those between 2 and 3 years old, once they've reached full maturity, are often extremely curious and playful. Once a cockatiel has gone through its first adult molt, usually between 6 months and a year, and certainly by the time they are 2 years old, it becomes much harder to judge their age based on appearance alone. They will have their full adult plumage. However, there are a few subtle indicators that might suggest an older bird. Beak condition. Over time, an older cockatiel's beak might appear more scuffed, worn, or have minor irregularities. Foot condition. Similarly, The feet of an older cockatiel might look less smooth and more irregular or bumpy, with more prominent scales. Nail length and condition. Older birds may have longer nails that appear thicker, cracked, or tend to bend inwards more. This could also be due to a lack of proper perch or infrequent trimming, so it's not a definitive sign. Energy levels and sleeping habits. Very old cockatiels might sleep more than younger adults. However, this can also be a sign of illness, so it's important to consider their overall health. Physical condition. In very elderly birds, you might observe age-related issues like cataracts, cloudiness in the eye, or a decline in feather and muscle condition. However, many cockatiels live to a ripe old age without showing obvious external signs of aging. There are also some things that don't reliably tell us a cockatiel's age. DNA testing. DNA tests only reveal the sex of a bird, not its age. Leg bands. While a leg band might have a year on it, this isn't always accurate. Breeders often buy bands in bulk and might use older bands on younger birds. So, a leg band year isn't a foolproof way to determine hatch year. Color mutations. The specific color or mutation of a cockatiel doesn't directly correlate with their age. So, while they can't perform a cockatiel calendar check observing these characteristics, especially in younger birds, they can give us a reasonable guess about their age range. Remember, the best way to know a cockatiel's true age is through reliable records from a breeder or adoption agency. No matter their age, the most important thing is to provide your cockatiel with a loving and enriching environment. Thanks very much for watching. My name is Chucky from Beyond, and this is the Amazing Parrots. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the video with your friends. And as always, don't forget to mention your 2 cents in the comments. Until next time, see you later.